Hi everyone, it's a gorgeous day, Easter weekend, lovely day for a drive. Just popping down to a place in Badminton actually. What I'm going to talk about briefly is, when you guys drive your M2s, I always leave my my button pressed where the exhaust sounds a little bit louder. It's not massively loud, and that's what I'm going to talk about. I think that these new M cars, I've been this for a while, are just too quiet. I mean, I do like putting it in M2 now and again, especially when I want to cause a bit of attention, but it's still not loud enough. Now, obviously, if you mess around with these cars while they're under warranty, that's not a good idea. But what do you guys do when you drive? Do you keep it in the button where the valves are slightly open, so you get a little bit of a noise, but it's not fantastic? And how often do you put it in M2 mode? And how often do you drive it using the gear shifters? I mean, I don't use it that often, to be honest with you, but it's all a bit of fun, and I just wish the car was a bit noisier, and I would pay a bit extra money to have it upgraded as long as it didn't affect the warranty. What do you guys think? But I think the car's too quiet. I never drive it without the valves open, never. I've never had the button, I always have the button pressed. But it's not a noisy car anyway, and to be honest with you, I want a bit more raw. I want a bit more raw. So M2, let's hear that roar. Lovely. The car's still too quiet in my opinion. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't really bother about your radio, although you can hear your radio. You know, you want a bit of an engine roar. That's why I really wanted a convertible, because you can hear the engine. It would be lovely. But my word, what a car. But I would do anything to make it louder, legally, without affecting the warranty. Any tips, guys? Any tips to make that exhaust sound a bit more poppy and a bit more louder? Anyone done it? But I don't want to affect the warranty, that's the problem. Listen to that roar, and I'm only going slow. Oh, I love to hear those bumps. I love to hear those ripples. Valves open, and that's how I like it. Whoa, whoa! Listen to it. This car never sounds so amazes me. I get in it, I get bored, and then I realise I've got a monster. Wow! 5 months old now. 3,850 miles. I think I'm getting used to it. Ooh. Lovely, jubbly. Listen to that roar. Lovely. But how often do you use M2? I use it a lot, and I always keep the valves open. But is it bad to use M2 a lot? I mean, I don't use it all the time, but when I want to make a little bit of an entrance, I stick it on. Woo! Woo! Amazing. Lovely. Now let's put the brakes on. Whoa!